Hard to Be a God by Alexei German is a 3-hour Russian science fiction film. So let that sink in. I obviously enjoy Russian cinema. I have seen the films of Andrei Tarkovsky, so I'm familiar with Russian sci-fi. This one is based off of a book that was same writer as, I believe, maybe some Tarkovsky films, maybe Solaris, not sure. But this is actually the second in a trilogy of books, but this one is weird. This takes place on another planet similar to our own. However, they're 800 years behind technologically, and we send 30 scientists over there to sort of just observe, but not to interfere. However, we're not shown this. This is all told, and we're basically following a lord of sorts. His name's Don Rumata. He has a castle. He's picked a woman. He's undercover, basically. And the first hour of this movie is just him walking around and just exploring the different people. You know, there are just people eating, walking. He's talking to people. It's a very atmospheric film, very ethereal. It's all done in black and white, really grim. Everything's wet. You know, there's lots of rain, lots of fog, mud. You're basically you can feel the squelching of all the people walking around. It's very, very atmospheric and very dreary as, you know, he walks around, you know, meets the different people. There are different factions on the planet. And the thing that sort of makes them different from our planet is that they have done a mass purge of all intellectuals. So instead of hitting the Renaissance like we did, they have gone backwards. So they sort of ostracize all intelligent folk. They've destroyed all technology that would start to, you know, move them on to the next age. So Ramada is basically looking for a doctor, and he's got a rival who's trying to stop him. And it's a weird film. You know, I'm a patient viewer. I consider myself a pretty avid film goer. I didn't turn it off, but the movie is it's really hard to follow. I had to go on Wikipedia to follow the plot because it doesn't feel like a movie. It just feels like it's film documentary style. So people go really close to the camera, and people sometimes look at the camera. I'm not sure if that's intentional or not, but you know, there's a lot of people just eating and doing things, and there's not really much of a plot because you're not really shown the scientists or them going. It's less about the sci-fi. It's more about the allegory of what would happen to our society if, instead of, you know, progressing to how we are now, we went backwards. And it basically is just a very grim, stark look at what happens when you know, progress society, I guess. But I wouldn't say it's enjoyable, but it is interesting. The running time is very long because, you know, by the film's end, you're kind of drained emotionally. It's not exciting. There's no 3-act structure. It's basically just one man walking around doing things, and there's a plot, but it's hard to suss out things. Everyone looks the same. The book is only 250 something pages, so this is a long movie based off that. So overall, this movie is interesting, but it's not the sci-fi parable that I thought it was going to be. It's a very interesting exercise in filmmaking. It's the director's last film, but it's not compelling. I can see why people like it because it's an oddity for sure in the film world. It's just almost a 3-hour tour of a set. But Hard to Be a God is, I felt it was lacking in certain areas, but hard to rate this film, so I give it a 4 out of 10.